What's Homebrew? Coming at you with a beer review. It's been a little while again since I've done one of these. I've been spending time dropping some weight and gaining back the muscle that I lost while my back was down and with the operation, etc., in a wheelchair. And I'm only drinking on Fridays now, mostly, trying to keep that weight off and behave. But it's Friday right now. And I have a beer that was sent to me a while ago by the famous or infamous Nick Legasor. Now, I've found out recently his name is actually Lesagor, but I don't think any less of him, and he's got power like a dinosaur, so he's definitely a Legasor. Here's the beer. Here we go. It's the Wild Sinister Kid. There's several versions of this. This is from Trillium Brewing. And Wild Sinister Kid this one is aged on black currants in oak bourbon barrels. I'm not sure if this is the 2016 or the 2018 version. He did say it had some years on it, so it could be either. Anyway, we're gonna get this cracked open. All right, here we go. The head kind of faded quickly on it. Oh, I can smell it from over here. The other versions they've had of this that I'm aware of anyway was one that was aged in sherry casks and another one that was made with wild sour cherries. So let's get the nose on this one. It's pretty, first of all, I guess murky and hazy. It's just kind of like a nice muddy brown. Look at that. It's a little lighter from my side, so we're going for the nose. Okay, you do get that sour component, there's no question about that. I definitely get some of the currant, but it picks up a lot of other type of fruity characters, as well as getting some of that oak right off the top and the sour quality. It's interesting, I get a mix of things. I got a hint of cherry almost, it felt like, for just a moment. And then I get some red berries, like raspberry on it. I get a little bit of almost a blackberry, not quite, almost like a hint of a plumminess to it. And darker fruits, like you get some raisin qualities coming off of it. You get just a light bit of some, like a light chocolate type quality. It's funny, I really don't get a lot of roast. Now this Trillium Brewing, they're out of Boston, Massachusetts, and they're considering this a dark strong ale. It's 10.4% ABV. Just perfect for a guy that's only drinking on Fridays. The malts in it are Pilsner, Abbey, Special B, and Carafa 3. And then the adjuncts they added in are Belgian Candi sugar and Turbinado sugar. Whoa. And they use strictly US Goldings for the hops. So let's dive on in. Cheers. Whoop. Okay. It's tart. And one thing I do know, at least with my experience with wild ales, is as you age them, often the yeast continue to chomp on those sugars just lightly in the background. And that often that lowers the sweetness, which brings up the tart qualities of the beer. I would guess that's probably the case with this. So there's a good bit of tartness. It's not completely overwhelming though, but it does just kind of slap you in the face at first. Okay, wow. All right, beyond the things that I named earlier, I'll probably go back over them, but one of the things that I'm really getting off this is a red wine type quality flavor. It's very much there. You're getting that hint of like a vinegar type taste, if you will, but it's got this grapey wine accents to it. The acidity is actually very smooth. It's not bad. It definitely has this woody character to it. So you're getting that oak, but not so strong on the oakiness like those tannins you get, but more on the woody type aspects, which is kind of fun and different. This sip, the currant was just really coming through. Of course, it's soured. I do enjoy currants. There's a lot of things that are sold as currants that aren't truly currants in the store. But currants are just very sweet. They're small. Oh, they're delicious. We keep them in the house, periodically munch on those. The red berry type aspects coming through. A little bit of like more like to the raspberry side. but almost like it's some blended berries, almost like you could have like a hint of a soured Marionberry or blackberry on it as well. And just a little bit of that plumminess and raisin quality, but all of which definitely have a sour aspect to them. It's quite mouth puckering. It's also interesting because I don't know that I would perceive it as 10.4%. I would guess it was, 8.5, maybe 9. So it's hiding some of that alcohol for sure. I'm gonna take a little time with this and I'll be back. My original plan was to actually set up a chair down by the pond, enjoy the pond, and drink the beer and review it down there. But as I was about to hop over the fence, I had geese with just new little goslings over the fence. I'd taken the grass clippings, I'd just mowed the lawn and thrown them over there because I know the geese like it, but I didn't expect them to respond so quickly. Well, all right, back to the beer. Well, this is a pleasant beer. It's a fun beer. I have to say I'm very spoiled with what I like in sour ales, which is the lighter end. I love the kettle sours and things of that nature so much. I love the stuff from Cascade, which is more of a sweet and sour. When they're very tart like this, one thing I find is you gotta drink them for a while and let your palate adjust. All right, well, this is tough, and I haven't been doing tons of ratings for a while. As far as beers go, in terms of style, in terms of sour ales, I think this is a really, really well crafted ale. I'm enjoying it. Again, probably better younger than older, so I can't give it a super high score, but nonetheless tasty. I'm going to give this a 92 in terms of style. There are a lot of layers to this beer. There's a depth of flavors, something to do with the currants and the oak and whatever else they did. I mean, the fact they added the Candi sugar and the Turbinado sugar, and yeah, there's just a great deal of respect for what they did in terms of brewing the beer, and I always have to give an extra point for that aspect. I have so much respect for the brewers in that sense. So while I probably wouldn't rate this all that high just because it's a little too tart for me personally, I gotta bump it up a little. So overall, I'm gonna give this a 91. It's a fun beer overall. But it's not gonna jump high in my wheelhouse because I am a sweet tooth. I'm a sweet tooth. Thanks again to the Legasaur. He knows he's appreciated. He's a good man. And congratulations, by the way. I just found out he just finished paper or assignment he needed to get his master's. So congratulations to you, Nick. This is the Wild Sinister Kid. It's the version aged on black currants in bourbon oak barrels. And this is from Trillium Brewing out of Boston, Massachusetts. I'm Kevin Clemens Hobry saying life's too short to drink cheap beer. And I'll see you in the next beer review.